Good morning, day 3, Pacific Crest Trail. Oh, look at that beard. I did bring a comb so I could run through that beard, but holy cow, that looks awful. Anyway, Hauser Creek last night at mile 15.1 or 15.2, and then about 5 miles to Lake Morena, which is where I'm headed. The climb out of Hauser Creek is steep and rocky, and I'm only about a half mile in, so it's gonna be a chore. It is elevation gain of a couple of thousand feet. I don't know if you can see, but that is the hill I have to get over today. It is just about 8:25. I slept till about 6:30, at which time I started to organize the chaos inside my tent, which is significant. I don't know, I pull stuff out of my pack and I think, oh, I need that for the night. And I just start opening bags and throwing stuff around, and I have to get better organized. I really do. But anywho, I'm on the move. My calves feel a little bit tight this morning, but not too bad considering I did 10 miles yesterday. A little longer than I intended, but I had to get there. So anywho, I'm gonna get through this climb, already huffing and puffing. So I will check back in with you later. Bye. This boulder pile, kind of scary. All those boulders at some time fell down here, and it's just waiting on Mother Nature to say when, and it's all gonna fall again. Hope I can get past. Cross your fingers. Yesterday, when we came down this hill on the other side of the valley, we started right about in there on a trail that wound down. You can kind of see it right at the, whoop, I guess I should look at the camera. Right about in there, there's a trail. Then it comes down and meets this road. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it meets this road. You can kind of see it right there. We walked this road for quite a ways down this hill until about right in there. Then we took a trail that was really pretty rocky all the way down into the canyon. So I've climbed just over 800 vertical feet in a mile, and I get my first glimpse of Lake Morena. Can you see it over there right in the center? That looks good. They have milkshakes. I can't wait to get there. Hey everybody, it's Scott. Coming at you from Lake Morena, beautiful Lake Morena, where it looks like most of the lake is dried up. They are experiencing a drought here in California this year. But anyway, I got into Lake Morena about 2 hours ago, about 11:30 or so. It's about 2:15 now. And I had a great lunch. I had a cold Diet Coke, which was freaking awesome. I had a big cheeseburger. It tasted really good. And I resupplied, got several days worth of food because the next stop, the next opportunity to resupply is, touched my face. Sorry about that. The next resupply is in 22 miles at Mount Laguna. So I got 3 days of resupply, a little bit extra just in case I end up going slower than I hope. And as I was walking back to the trail, I ran into a guy. I talked about it in an earlier video, Mike. He and I started at the wall together in Campo. And I ran into Mike. He went faster than me, carrying way more weight than I did. And he got to Lake Morena yesterday and was so sore from carrying so much weight that he spent the night in Lake Morena in the park, as did a bunch of other hikers at the campground. So they pitched their tents and they stayed in the campground. Well, the group of them got to talking and got to watching and looking at weather reports, and the weather reports look pretty bleak. I was coming to the campground. Mike was headed back to the store, the malt shop, and that's when we spoke. And he said, "Hey Scott, you really should think about staying a while here rather than hiking on, because they're supposed to get snow above 35,000 feet, not 35,000, 3,500 feet. Dang." And right now at Lake Morena, we're at 3,000 feet. So 500 feet above us, they're supposed to get snow for 3 days. That's a lot. And I'm not sure I'm quite up to that challenge this early in my hike. So Mike said that there were options. You could stay in your tent at the campground, or the campground also has some cabins around what used to be a lake. And $50 a night for the cabins. So I asked Mike if he wanted to share a cabin, and he said that he'd already committed to another couple that he was sharing with. So I'm like, cool. So I got my own cabin just as well. He said there were at least a dozen hikers that that elected to stay and are actually going to stay for the 3 full days that there's supposed to be snow. After that, I understand it's supposed to warm up a little bit, so that snow will likely melt, making for muddy, but maybe not quite so cold, wet, windy conditions. So I didn't do 3 nights. I did just 2 with, I have an option of lengthening it to a 3rd night. I might do that, I don't know. But as it stands right now, I'm holed up in Lake Morena at a cabin. And it's gonna be really boring because this cabin is cute, but very rustic. It has electricity, thank goodness. I can get all my stuff charged up, but it has, and heat, and a ceiling fan, but it has nothing else. There's no running water. There's a porta potty out by what used to be the lake. And then if you want to take a shower, you have to go another half a mile to a coin-operated shower. So it's going to be a rather dull 3 days sitting in the cabin. There are lots of hikers in the other cabins, so my guess is there might be some socializing if the weather permits, if the mood permits, and things like that. But my guess is a couple of times a day we'll probably be hiking down to the one and only place to get food, hot food, served food at the malt shop. And they have pizza and burgers and wings and all that stuff. So we might head down there to eat a couple of times. But other than that, I'm just hanging out, waiting on the weather. This is not how I anticipated the beginning of my hike. My legs were feeling okay, actually feeling better than they did yesterday. Of course, I did 10 miles yesterday, and I've just done 5 today, although it was a pretty up and down 5. So I'm feeling all right, and I'm disappointed because in 3 days, I probably will lose what I've gained in terms of my legs. I might have to start over again, which I don't want to do. But I also don't want to get up into the mountains and get bone cold, wet, and not be in a position to continue. This early in the hike, I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I'm holed up here. I don't know how much videoing I'll do over the next 3 days, maybe a little bit. Then it'll probably be just one video covering 3 days. But I just wanted to give you a heads up about where I'm at. Cell service sucks down here. I get none for Verizon, but I do have my Garmin, and Lauren and I can text back and forth. But if I walk back into town, apparently there's a Verizon service there. So I'll probably be doing a lot of walking, even though I'm not actually on trail, which no hiker wants to do. You want to do all your walking on trail, making progress towards Canada, not walking around in town. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but I don't know what else to do. So I think that's it. Anyway, that's an update. I will come back at you later.